No. Tell you what, how about just no shirt at all? Let's try that. Hey, did you guys hear that? Sounded like a chipmunk.
Oh, who's your new friend, Eric?
Shut up, Mom. Not now.
This is your chance to end this. Are you ready?
Come on. When have we ever gotten into trouble?
PS3 ain't done yet, and those are our nominees for GameSpot's Game of the Year on the PlayStation Triple for 2014. Some great games there. I want to start off with a game that's kind of, some people are going to find interesting that it's there because it's kind of not a full game, but it's one that I know the folks who've played it have found it very powerful. The Last of Us Left Behind, Chris.
Yeah, man, this whole full game business. All right, look, this game is DLC. It's an expansion to the Last of Us, and I think a lot of people, rightfully wonder, like, is this a game? I mean, like, what is sort of the definition? But I think it's been pretty clear for a number of years now that the evolution of what is a video game and what is worthy of honoring as a game is just, there's no barriers. It's broken down entirely. They vary in length and price and experience type. And Left Behind is an experience that stands alone unto itself. It stands on the shoulders of The Last of Us from its core mechanics and from some of its characters. But what it does with these two girls, Ellie and Riley, and what it does with the gameplay mechanics, like this photo booth moment, is incredible. And I mean, this is the moment. Like, whenever I see this moment, you get a chance at the end of that to post it on your Facebook wall. Whenever I see that, my heart swells because I know that person has been playing Left Behind.
Excellent.
And it was our Game of the Year in February, and just an incredible
Game
experience.
of the Month,
yes, Game of the Month in February. Just an incredible experience that really distilled many of the things that was great about The Last of Us, but then is its entirely own thing. So fantastic.
A little bit of a change of pace then. We're going from that to the winner of the Best Voice Work at the Game Awards, Trey Parker, which he was very happy to beat out Kevin Spacey. I thought that was pretty good.
He was thrilled.
Only in video games will Trey Parker beat Kevin Spacey for acting.
And we got probably the best South Park game ever made.
Yeah, I mean, there have been a couple, but I think what's so great about this one is this one was the love letter to the series. Like, they had everything in it. They had the City Walk guy, and they had just everything.
Every character you could possibly think of.
Every character you could possibly imagine, and then you also got to be one. Like, you got to be part of South Park. And, like, stuff like this, like what's being shown right now, is, like, cute little additions to what is actually a very solid role-playing game. I mean, you have, like, the classes have, like, so many... Yeah, look at this. This is just hilarious. Who doesn't want to play a video game where you can
X
poop?
to poop?
Where you can poop. But, like... You have okay. Poop. Like, look, like the combat system was sort of simple, but in that simplicity, they were able to pack in all of, like, the South Park humor. I think it worked really well. I loved the Jew class. I played as the Jew class. I thought it was awesome. It was a really creative, really sort of like no holds barred spin on the classic role playing game, and just it's funny. That dialogue was funny.
And what I think I love so much about it is that this season of South Park is so clearly got, like, they're all written about video games.
Yeah.
So clearly while they were making this, they were just spending a lot of time on GameSpot and Kotaku and whatnot, checking all this stuff out. On to our next nominee, Dark Souls 2. Kevin, you've been a massive fan of this series right from the off. What is it about Dark Souls 2 that makes it one of the best games on PlayStation 3 this year?
You know, I think the sense of adventure is the biggest thing. You go off into these great areas, you have no idea what to expect. There's so much surface area to cover, but even beyond that, every area has such a different feel, and yet it all seems like it's still one part of one big universe. And so that consistency and yet that diversity within that consistency is really great. And of course, you've got great boss battles. Just looking at the one that's on the screen right now, that's fantastic. That's one of the best battles in the game. And so you just have, one fun boss battle after another, followed by, great cool areas to explore. And as always, that sort of great Dark Souls-esque storytelling where it's not really about dialogue, and it's not really about characters. It's more about making your own story and more about finding how you fit within this world and trying to see the little pieces that fit into the bigger picture.
And hearing you talk about it, Kevin, it's always a sense of discovery that really thrills me. Is your passion for that, and the way that, like, you know, a lot of games we see out here, you know, they're awesome, but we kind of knew what to expect going in. And even if that's the case with Dark Souls 2, you knew what to expect going in. But then for them to still be able to capture your imagination, to make that exploration, that discovery so wonderful, is incredible.
From one sort of massive sprawling adventure to quite a small one, but one you can play over and over again, Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes. I'm going to take the lead on this one because this is one of my favorite games of the year, absolutely. And it kind of took me by surprise because at the start I just thought, oh, this is just like the prologue version of Metal Gear Solid 5 whenever that bothers to come out.
I'll just mess around in this one outpost, I'll get a taste of it, that'll be great.
And like, I had my PS4, and being completely honest, there were not that many games that came out in the first half of the year that really grabbed me. Ground Zeroes was absolutely perfect, exactly what I needed. I pumped hours upon hour onto this game, like playing it over and over again. My first run was horrific. I completed the story and I was like, oh, that's it. And then it presents you with another mode. But it turns out that when you're just doing like the regular standard first mission in it as well, that there are so many different interesting ways to do it. And it reminded me of playing old games like Rainbow Six and Project IGI, where you were basically infiltrating a base, and it wasn't so much like winning it was the interesting thing, it was figuring out all the permutations, messing with the AI, trying new tactics. And Ground Zeroes for me was a game that really sort of encouraged that type of
that active play. Yeah, that's so good. Which is
so I'm looking forward to seeing how well that does. And our last nominee, Dragon Age Inquisition, one of the more recent video games to make it onto our nominees list. What is it about Inquisition, Alexa, that do you think makes it one of the best PS3 games of the year?
Well, it's a BioWare game. I hate to be like, oh, it's a BioWare game, but like they just consistently nail that ability to drag the player into caring about your character through all that customization, and then caring about the people around you and the relationships they're in. The party banter in this game, I think, is one of the best things about it. And I know you loved the party banter.
Yeah, I do love the party banner, and what's great is that, you know, everybody's experience is going to be different when we go out there onto the battlefield, because I'll have different people than you do, and there's so much specific banter between very specific party members. Like, there are conversations that only two particular people will have because they are the people that they are, and that's really awesome. Like, there are party members that we all love. But the thing is, my party was so different from a lot of other people's. And yet I wouldn't have had it any other way, because they were people that I had grown to really love and care about. People talk about characters that I barely even knew these people.
Awesome. Those are our 5 nominees. I want to briefly mention there's a game that's going to probably come up a couple of times over the next couple of nominees that hasn't made it. Shadow of Mordor. In a word, Alexa, why didn't it make the PlayStation 3 nominees list?
Because its Nemesis system is so scaled down, it's pretty much non-existent on previous gen platforms.
Yeah, so those are our 5 nominations that you can, that we will be choosing from, and of course you can as well in the Players' Choice Awards. We will be announcing our winner on GameSpot.com on December 15th, so make sure you check back.